Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of My Safe Zone. Episode.
Number 8.
Thanks for clicking. Hope you guys having a good day. Let's get straight into the video. Jane wakes up without Lynn beside her. She goes and asks Took where Lynn is. Took tells her Lynn went home. Took noticed Jane's engagement ring and congratulates Jane. Now, Took probably was too focused on consoling Jane last episode, but didn't she see the ring on her hand then? I don't know. I'm getting off topic. Let's go. Back to the show. Jane is ecstatic saying, I'm going to marry Lynn. Took like, seen you wait for so long. You ain't even look at anyone else. Jane says, Lynn was my first love and will be my last love. Over to Lynn. I'm shocked the flower on her finger ain't dead yet. Where did Lynn get these everlasting daisies from? I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Anyway, there's a knock on the door. It's Jane. She invites Lynn to go pick out rings because the daisy on Lynn's finger won't last much longer. Lynn is cool with that, but want to talk to Jane about something. Of course, Jane is a little unsettled by that sentence. Lynn shows her phone. Mood Muse magazine contacted Lynn about a job offer. Jane asks when Lynn is leaving. Lynn hasn't decided because she wanted to talk it over with Jane. Jane leaves. Now, this is a bit of an overreaction to that information. Jane, I'm gonna cut you some slack because maybe you wanted to yell at her, but you just chose to leave when Lynn was trying to be honest about the situation as well. Don't you want her to be employed? I understand Lynn would be returning to the US and y'all just got engaged, but you could have at least heard Lynn out. Took runs after Jane and hugs her in the home. Jane tells Took about Lynn's job opportunity in New York City. Took asks, will Lynn take the job? Jane says Lynn talked to me about it, but admits she doesn't want Lynn to leave, but recognizes it's a job Lynn loves. However, questions if she were to let her go, would Lynn just disappear again? Now, I see where Jane is coming from. She just wants to be a little selfish and have Lynn stay because she waited for so many years to be with her. Plus, she's engaged to her and finally is able to be with her without people interfering this time. So I get where she's coming from. Back to them. Took grabs the black box she's been keeping and hands it to Jane. Enclosed is every letter Lynn sent to Jane. Took comes clean saying, I told Lynn to stop contacting you because you kept crying all the time. We wouldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I couldn't bear seeing someone I love in pain and heartbroken. So I decided it was better if you two just cut ties. Took apologizes. Okay, I still think it wasn't right for Took to make the executive decision to end communication between them two, but I get why. I wish Lynn and Jane had other best friends they could talk to at the time, even though it would never be the same because they've been together since they were little kids and nobody could ever have the same connection as them two have. Anyway, back with Lynn. She informs she got a job offer in New York. Says, so what you finna do? Lynn like, ever since I returned, I've been waiting for the email, but I forgot about it because I was happy being at home here with you and Jane. Oh, so that's why she was looking so sketchy whenever she had her phone, because she knew one day someone may contact her. Okay, I get it. Hop over to Jane. She's looking at the cards Lynn sent her. Jane like, so it was actually me who didn't contact Lynn for 8 years. Took says Lynn always been committed, but she was just scared Lynn wouldn't come back and break Jane's heart again. However, now she believes Lynn will still be committed to Jane. I'm glad Took see that even though you told Lynn to stop contacting Jane, it semi worked because she just reduced the amount of time she contacted her. You had to hide the cards. Anyway, the doorbell rings. Took goes to see who it is. It's Lynn and Lynn is about to walk inside when Took says, you never told Jane that I made you stop contacting her. Thank you. Lynn walks in and is greeted with a hug. Jane is thankful for Lynn for never forgetting her. Lynn like, how could I? You're so important to me. Lynn confesses back then when they were friends, she could spend the whole day with her. Just having Jane by her side made her happy. She didn't know if she liked being around Jane because of comfort and closeness or because she already had been in love with Jane all along. Well, I think the latter. They always had this unexplained connection between each other that they didn't or couldn't find in anyone else. So, yeah, back to them. Jane tells Lynn, you're the only one I've ever loved. They kiss. Jane shows Lynn all the letters Took kept away from her. Lynn is shocked Took saved them all. Jane informs Lynn that she's alright with her taking a job in New York. Lynn says, how would I stay away from you? At the restaurant, Tim and Kate are talking. Kate wants to see Lynn because she didn't pick up her calls and asked Tim to take her to Lynn. Back to the house, Kate has appeared to thank Lynn for loving her, though she came back hoping to reconcile with Lynn. But she saw the way Lynn looked at Jane, it dawned on her. Lynn will never love anyone else but Jane. I'm relieved Kate finally got it that Lynn had washed her hands with her and the relationship because it was sad seeing her keep fighting and pleading for the love she had with Lynn that was dead and gone already. Jane is headed into work when Pete and Bam tells her Tim met with Kate today. Jane confronts Tim saying, you brought Kate here today and you took her to the resort. He nods. Jane tells Tim, I've been clear that we were never going to happen because I love someone else and loved her for a long time. Tim like, so you want me to give up? Jane says you don't need to give up because you were never competing with Lynn. She's the only one I've ever loved. No one can replace her. I'll never love anyone else. the way I love her. I'm like, hopefully, Tim, you get it now that you'll never be with Jane because she's getting married and can't fathom being with anyone other than Lynn. So please stop. Back to the show. Tim lets Jane know that the cops found the money trail that connects Pi and the perpetrator. The cops will be issuing a warrant for Pi's arrest. Jane thanks Tim for the updates. Night has come. Lynn is waiting for Jane to finish work because she missed her the moment Jane left. They're about to leave when Lynn begins to reminisce about the first day she waited for Jane to close up. She had nothing, just bad things, and it felt as though she was drowning. But now, even still being unemployed, she's very happy because she stopped chasing success. I'm like, hopefully Lynn takes some time to herself and breathe and find a job she's comfortable with and honestly wants. Because she's been stressing about jobs since she got terminated. Anyway, Lynn continues, I'm happy here. I don't worry no more. And as for work, the offers will come when people realize I'm here eventually. But for now, I'm gonna help you with photos. Jane, like, yeah, you've been here for a while, but my menu's still not done. I'm like, not them acknowledging they ain't attempt to revisit this menu proposition that was talked about way back in the earlier episodes. They funny for that, because I ain't seen them do no work. Anyway, Lynn says the reason I was contacted about the New York City job is because the pictures I took recently felt fun and alive. Like, I wasn't afraid to try new things or step out of my comfort zone. And that's all thanks to you. Jane, like, I didn't do anything except make you take pictures of the food I cooked. Lynn tells Jane, you helped me broaden my view. And Jane says, you figured that out on your own, not because of me. Jane has no idea how lucky Lynn feels to have her. They kiss.
3 days later.
Lynn and Jane are on a bench. Jane notices that the daisy has been wilted for a while now. Jane pulls out a ring and puts it on Lynn's finger. Lynn want to know where they should hold the wedding. Jane doesn't want a wedding, but instead wants to hold on to the happiness they already have. I'm like, if Lynn wants the same thing, that's cool. But if not, and Lynn wants a wedding, will they compromise on this wedding issue or no?
Much later.
Jane is searching for Lynn and asks Took if she's seen Lynn at home. Took is playing clueless and tries to leave. Jane asks what's in the bag. Took says it's trash. Jane receives a delivery. It's a box. She finds a note inside wanting her to go take a photo. Lynn surfaces and suggests they get dressed. They do. Lynn takes her to the restaurant, which is fully decorated inside out. Jane, like, I thought I told you I didn't need a wedding. Lynn talk about it ain't a wedding. It's just something I wanted to do for you. They got photos scattered all around. But who took the pictures of these moments? I understand that it's for like the show, but anywho, once inside, they say I love you and kiss and make the marriage official and sign the papers. Then they get a picture taken.
Many months later.
Jane's preparing some food. Lynn has come back from the studio and questions if Jane is headed into the restaurant. Jane isn't. Bruh, I feel like Pete and Bam need to be part owner of the restaurant because the two owners show up whenever. I'm not saying Jane don't work, and this is just probably her day off. I understand. Anyway, back to them. Lynn places a butterfly necklace on Jane as a birthday gift. Jane thought Lynn forgot since she's been extremely busy. Jane thanks Lynn. They kiss. Jane tells Lynn happy birthday also and gives her a cake and wants Lynn to make a wish. Lynn wished for Jane to remain her safe zone for a long time. Jane wants to expand their safe zone. Lynn is hype over the envelope. Is it like a pet or what? I don't get the hype, but okay. Lynn like, do Took and Ohm know? Jane didn't tell them because she wanted Lynn to know first.
Many months later.
Oop, y'all, I feel like a goof. It's a child, not a pet. It is a child. Look, some people look at pets as their kids, so that's what I thought. Anyway, they have a kid. She's hungry and wants Jane's braised eggs at her restaurant. Jen runs downstairs to Lynn and asks to go see Jane. Took and Home are winded and is on board with Jen going to the restaurant. Bro, this is just how my grandma be with my sibling kids and my cousin kids, just tired and worn out. Jen realizes the restaurant looks just like Lynn and Jane's wedding photo. Lynn says, because we got married here. Jen wants to wear a white dress just like that. Jane tells her, one day when you grow up and find someone who means everything to you, I'll give you my dress. Lynn talk about, by then you can choose between mine or Jane's dress. Jen goes to play. Jane always knew waiting on Lynn will be worth it. And it is because they're together now. Happiness is simple, Lynn replies. They kiss, and that concludes episode 8 of My Safe Zone. I'm glad they got a happy ending, even though they didn't go to the beach. I know it would have been hectic taking that New York job. I wonder how they would have made it work if Lynn did. Did they ever talk about kids? I might have missed it. Also, I don't know if Isla ever reached out after her injury about redoing the photo shoot. I wish we got a clear indication on that. I'm happy Pi is paying for her crimes. Is the man who threw the rock also going to jail? I feel Kate and Tim just need to be together since they used all their energy to break up Lynn and Jane and that failed. That's the end of the video, y'all. I had fun with this series. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Comment, like, share, subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching. Be safe later, y'all.